Hello, beautiful soul. I want to ask you, do you feel sometimes that you are pretending to be human, living daily life, but actually you can see a bigger picture? And you think, sometimes people think, I don't belong here, I'm not from here. It's all strange, this whole human experience. Well, I think it's actually very, very good news because it means that you are start to become aware about your multi-dimensional self. You start to see or remember yourself on a much bigger scale. And that is great because it is kind of starting to break the little matrix of the limitation reality that we all live in. What's beautiful about that also is that when you are connected to the bigger part of you and you start to remember bigger, you start to realize that the small or personal or egoic life as human here is also sacred. So it's not only that you're doing the dishes, it's you're doing the dishes. You have a body to do the dishes. And if you can combine those two parts of you, the part of you that see the big things, the higher self of you, all of the versions of them, and the little part of you and all the version of them, then life becomes very magical. It's another way of living, which is the future, which is where there's creativity and expansion and love. And of course, everything goes between the two dualities. When we are feeling fear in our human self and then bringing it into love with our higher self. And that is the game on earth. This is the beauty of everything. So I wanted to share that I find that one of the best way to get in touch with our multidimensional self is through the voice, or our voices as I call it, because we have many voices, we have many aspects of ourselves that are connected to the elements and to the micro and microcosmos, and it's a journey of exploring, and it's worthwhile. So I remember moment where I was aware that I am human or playing human. It's a very silly story, but it was the moment when I went like, oh, look at me. I'm playing that role. So it was when my kids were small and the school and the kindergarten was a little bit of a walk away. I could walk there through the park. I could later I took my kids on a bicycle like you would do in Holland. Two kids on the bicycle going to school. But then one of my kids was in push car, and the other one was on it or walking next to me. And I was late, and I wanted to take the tram. So the problem with the tram at the time was that it was a tram that had stairs, which was very not convenient for people who are on a wheelchair or parents with a push car. And sometimes when I will come into the tram, somebody will help me to lift the push car into the tram to take the 3 stairs. But sometimes it didn't happen. And that was a morning where everything went wrong, when I was not in a good mood. And then when you're not in a good mood, your friction with life is much bigger. As we know, low frequency things and thinking only brings more low frequency experiences. So, and that morning I was insulted that a person looked at me and didn't help, and then the tram closed and I was left out with my 2 kids. And one of them was hungry and crying, and I had to go back home, and now I had to walk for 20 minutes home. So I was angry. And that was not the first time. It happened a few times in these few weeks. that it happened. Then I realized that here I am playing the role of the angry, abandoned mother. And I had suddenly a choice. Do I stay in this role? Because I had my right. Of course I was right that this person was so busy with themselves that they would not help with the trauma. They didn't have to help. It's only nice to help. Sometimes people can be so, you can go on and on and on and on and complain about how things would be better, right? But in that moment I had this split second to think, do I stay in this role of being, or do I choose something else? So I chose something else because I thought, well, I know already how it is to be angry and sour the whole afternoon. Let's try something else. So we walked through the park and actually we stopped, we got something and the kids were happy. And I was aware about the fact that it took me a choice. Do I go into this role of playing the betrayed, angry, frustrated, stressed mother, or I will do something else with it? This is just a little example. I'm sure you have also examples where you start to become aware that you have a choice between how you are going to look at it. And that consciousness is the greatest thing. When you have the choice, you can take yourself from the level of survival, which all of humanity is living under survival. We all have it in our brain. It is in our DNA, survival, survival, survival. From everything, from danger, from irritation, from all kinds of fears. Or that you start to become aware, I am now in survival, or I'm in anger, or I'm in stress. And let me take myself just to become aware about that. And that we are doing with our other parts, other multidimensional parts. So it's it's starting to happen to more people. And this is what they call the awakening. We are starting to awaken to the possibility that that's only one reality, but we have many, many realities based on different thoughts, different choices we make on that moment. So what do you choose? Of course, we all think we want to choose the high. We want to feel love. We want happiness. We want love. But from working with people and working with the four voices, which is the way that I believe we are having the whole full Monty of who we are through the medicine wheel, through the wheel of life, all of the aspects of ourselves. So we all think that we want love and happiness and joy and great sex and lots of money. But actually, if you are looking into your own makeup, you will discover that many parts of you don't want what you think you want. And that is why the work with your subconscious mind, understanding your own archetypes inside and how to renegotiate with different aspects of you to actually get what you want. So a lot of time I see people say, I want to have love relationship. I want to have the experience of being safe and loved. But their action will show that they are blocking it in every time that life tries to bring something. And why is that? Of course, we know that what we believe, we get what we believe. We don't get what we deserve. We get what we believe. So if you believe that to have a relationship with a person will be nice and lovely, but it will put you in danger because you believe that when you are in a relationship, you always give up your boundaries, you sacrifice aspect of yourself or your aspect of your creativity or aspects of your spirituality, then you in your deeper part of you would not want to be in a relationship, because in your understanding, being in a relationship means painful sacrifice. And only when you will change that belief There are many different beliefs. There are many, many shadow beliefs. Many of them are not even created by you, by us. But only when you do that, then you can bring into your life a love relationship that is about expansion and growing, and sacrifice is not even in the picture. The same with money. A lot of times we say, I would like to have that, I would like to have that. But in our deep belief, we believe that people like us never have money because this is what we got. That's what we saw many lifetimes or many, many generations. So when I say that we start to become aware about our multidimensional self, which that's what I do with the work with the 4 voices, this is when we are bringing into our reality what we actually consciously choosing to, and not what we get by default. And why we talk, a lot of people talk about that now because of the manifestation, understanding, law of attraction, all of those issues. It's because we are the generations, it's going to take a few decades, we are the generation that has to dismantle thousands of years of humanity, of our tribes, our culture, our religion, being overloaded with suppressive belief system. Let's say it in a nice way. You cannot blame anyone. This is the human condition. This is the journey we took. We went up, we lost it all. We have to go up again, or we want to go up again. And that means that everything that was not looked at and got into light for thousands of years, because humanities were not there, start to happen now. So many of us are awakening to the fact that what my family or my country or my race or religion or gender believed or thought, it's now changing. And now we get into a point of choice. We can choose. We can choose. This is all new. It's not new, it was always there, but now we start to become aware. Am I choosing to be that, or am I choosing to see it as a choice to become this or that? Do we want to go higher or want to go lower? Do we want to stay another 5 years angry on this person because we are addicted to the hormones that make us angry and we just want to feed our addiction? Or we go like, I rather spend my next 5 years creating a life where I travel and I meet people that have a different experiences of life and my life is expanding. It's a choice. It's a choice. So what do you choose? To touch your multidimensional self and explore stuff you never did, or stay the same and not touch anything because you're afraid it's painful? And I know that you are going to choose something that will delight your soul and even delight your human self, where you can expand more love into your body, into your heart, into your connection with spirit, into your mind, and that will bring you who you need to become and what you are becoming, and it will be divinely wonderful for the people who love you. And it will be absolutely amazing for us as a collective humanity, where more people choosing to bring more light and loving frequency into their life. So why am I telling you all of this? Because I want you to become aware. And I want you to break the mold and shine your shine and sing your song. And I will say, use your voices. Use your voices to do that. And there is no better way to live. It's just divine. Okay, so think about it. Tell me what you are experiencing. Where do you notice that you are choosing between a higher level or smaller level? And please have compassion with whatever you're choosing. Just become aware that you are choosing. Okay, thank you. All my love.